does.
My wire's a bit loose. It's loose or something.
There's always somebody that's going to break something. It's absolutely typical,
Okay,
isn't
it's
it?
okay now.
Is it intermittent, is it?
Yeah, as in if I touch the wire.
Don't touch the wire.
I
then.
can change your headphones. Do you want me to change your headphones?
No, it's not the headphones. I don't know.
It's the wire, isn't it?
No,
It
I've
is
got,
the
I've,
headphones,
I've got another set. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, let's swap
Hold
headphones.
on.
Hello, are we still recording, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, this is excellent. Welcome to the shit show that is
We
the
are
JB Waffle Hour.
experiencing technical difficulties.
No, Scotty, you've done a brilliant job setting up today. To be fair.
I've seen people. I've seen accidents on the Late Late Show where they've had to come up and change their mics and stuff like. So
Oh,
the same
okay.
thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So while John is changing, should I just fill in and stuff?
Yes.
What episode? We're on episode 25.
Is it 25 now?
It is 25. We're one away from our half birthday. Half birthday. Whoop whoop.
Any plans for the half birthday?
Well, I feel like we're going to have to get cake and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
buns.
with our faces on it, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. Get a crowd in Navan or something. Maybe.
There was. Did you hear about the bakery up north who wouldn't print the? It was. I think it was a gay wedding. Was
Gay
it?
wedding cake.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And wouldn't print the.
That was ages ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was mid.
But they.
They're still going on about it though.
No, I
Yeah.
think the case is over now. I think they won that case. I
Oh, did they?
think. Yeah.
What the bakery did?
Yeah.
So they didn't have to make the cake.
No, they didn't have to make the cake, but they won the case. But I think it was it got enough coverage anyway to give the to get the discussion going.
Oh.
That's mad. So the bakery won in the end.
The bakery won in the end.
Jenny. So under like what? Like freedom of.
Right to refuse.
Oh yeah.
Right to refuse.
Yeah, sure. Every shop has that sign.
Yeah.
You can refuse service. So is that the same thing?
Yeah, I think it was right to refuse service thing. Yeah.
No top, no shoes, no service.
Yes.
No top.
Yeah, that's a frequent one in the States.
Right.
That in like the southern states, because it's just so hot, people walk around
Because
without tops.
it's for the CrossFitters, is it?
Yeah, maybe, I guess. I'm not in that world. That's your world, man.
Well, is there another
I
sign?
would like to distance myself from CrossFit.
You must
Sorry?
be this good looking in order to not wear a top.
Excellent.
This female, in order to not wear a top.
And a picture of like Tom Cruise or something.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's
Um,
discrimination, though. I think,
wait,
isn't it? Like, really?
we are on
Definitely.
location. This is our first on location one, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We're out of the studio.
Yeah.
Outside broadcast.
Well, we're in John's house.
Yep.
So
Welcome.
this is one of 3 studios. We're such a professional setup. We have 3 studios.
No, it's unreal.
we've gone my house, music school,
Yeah.
Johnny's house, and Zoom.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, Zoom as well, yeah.
Fantastic.
I forgot
Oh,
about
it
the
does.
Zoom days even. Jesus.
Yeah. It's nice to do them in person, you know.
It is. Looking at each other's
So
eyes.
episode 25, it's the JB Waffle Hour. Carry on, so on and so forth. If you'd like to email,
Yep.
or Tinder us.
Instagram messages have been
That's because you
picking
now
up.
you now
Yeah.
know about that, because by the time this goes out, episode 24 has gone out.
Yeah, yeah.
So they know what the crack is.
The Tindery stuff will
Yeah.
be revealed.
Yeah.
There's
Every
going to be a
so
lot of stuff happening on Instagram, so give us a follow, keep up.
Yeah, exactly. Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah,
If-
we got a
if-
YouTube
if-
thing now.
If that's the crack that you're into.
Yeah.
I assume some people don't have Spotify or Acast, but YouTube is always there.
Yeah.
So it'd be
Yeah,
handy
yeah.
if you don't have Spotify or Acast, you can listen on YouTube.
Spotify's a must though these days. Though. I think it's kind of like Netflix. It's kind of like a standard thing to have. No.
Yeah, what's it now? 9.99. Netflix keeps
$9.95
putting
a
it up,
month.
and then you're thinking, will I really use it or will I miss it? And then I keep hitting it.
Yeah.
I haven't used Sky in a long time. I'm looking to cancel Sky, but it's like the most impossible thing to cancel.
Yeah, it's like in Friends when Chandler and Ross try to leave the bank and leave the gym. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're just going to end up with like a bigger package or something.
It is quite hard. Although I heard if you ring up Sky and tell them that you're cancelling,
That hardly still works, is it?
yeah, apparently so. Rob around the corner, he lives around there. He does it every 6 months. He'll be like, no, I'm cancelling now, and they always offer him the same package again.
Because they rang me up every now and again. You're in rotation of their numbers to see.
Yeah.
Oh, you're happy with the service? And this lad, I think his name was Colin, and I said, oh yeah, what about that new TV when you sign up? And she says, oh, that's only for new customers. I'm thinking, oh yeah, but what about your current customers? What are you going to do? Like at this stage, I was a customer. I've been a customer since I was 22, so this would have been 10 years at this stage, because a few years ago. And he was like, oh yeah, well, okay, hang on there, I see what you can do. I got free movies for 6 months.
And what happens if you cancel and then re-sign up again? Technically, are you a new customer?
I suppose you would be, because
I think if
everybody has more than one email these
if
days.
you use
anyway.
your own name, email, like your date of birth as the last time, they'll go, oh yeah, we've seen you're signed up before.
Oh,
So you'd obviously have to use maybe your wife or
Yeah.
I don't know in insurance, so I got the renewal out, my renewal quote, and I didn't like it. It was quite high. And so I went on to the actual website and I got a quote off their own website with a different email for less. And when they rang up to say, oh, you're going to renew, I said, well, hang on a second, I have got this renewal off your own website and it's €142 cheaper. I would like that insurance.
That's cool.
And she says, do you have the reference number? I said, I do have the reference number. So I gave her the reference number. She said, okay, hang on. I came back. Yeah, we can do this, but the only thing is you'll have to set up a new profile. As if that was going to put me off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no,
Yeah, let's go.
No, Elaine, fire ahead there. We can set up a new profile.
You just named and shamed. Do you want to give the insurance company as well?
That's an anonymous name.
Oh, is it? All right, okay. Yeah, we've been firing out the old anonymous ladies' names recently.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know. Elaine just came into my head there.
Elaine is a very call centre name, yeah.
Yeah.
I was coming over in the car. I don't know if this is an issue with you two as well. Well, maybe not you because you know songs and music, right? So do you know the classic 9 at 11 that's on Today FM?
9 at 11.
Yeah, classic 9 at 11.
No.
So they play like 9 classic songs, have to guess the year, which is completely pointless now because people just Google it. Where when I used to work driving the diggers on a Saturday morning, that would have been through the noughties. You wouldn't really had the old Google on the phone.
Yeah.
For our 14% of under 20s that listen, there was a time that we had a phone that didn't have Google.
That's right, yeah.
I don't know if that's like the boogeyman now. Oh, no Google.
It did have Snake, however.
But I was coming over and they played, that James Blunt song.
Yeah.
I am not a James Blunt fan, but damn it, I sang that whole song beautiful on the way over.
Beautiful.
I don't know.
He's great though.
And I knew the words, and I don't know how I haven't listened to that song in a long time, but the words were in my head.
His Twitter is amazing.
Oh, he's
slags himself off so much. It's just hilarious.
It's class. You can't if you get in and slag yourself first. Sure, what can people do then?
Yeah, exactly. And I think he's enough money made now that he's just able to do that, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's pretty set for life. In fairness, the thing I saw that I want to tell you about was Bective Mill. Have you ever been to Bective Mill?
Yes.
I passed it.
The yoga place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your mic's after going off. Is it?
I don't know. Gone?
Oh, I think it is.
Oh no.
Interesting.
More technical difficulties.
So, Bective Mill, obviously by the name, is out in Bective. You haven't been there?
No, I passed it. That's where that new movie with Matt Damon and stuff was.
Well, that's Bective Abbey across the road there. But Bective Mill is...
But it's just there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just across the bridge. And they've like a little coffee shop. Do you know Paul Duffy?
Yeah,
and Sinead. They have a lovely little coffee shop, and they're opening back up on is it May bank holiday?
Oh, why were they closed for a while?
They were closed like over the winter. Like it's just not...
Oh, so seasonal, like because of tourists and stuff like that.
I've heard so many... Like I follow Sinead on Instagram and she puts up some great stuff I'd love to go there.
Yeah.
They have loads of... Like because you can go into the sauna and then go into the Boyne and everything.
That's the other thing, the sauna. Have you heard about the sauna that's there?
No, but I'm feeling an outdoor broadcast.
That would be cool.
How mobile are these mics?
So it's a sauna set up just at the shore of the Boyne, and it's like a wood fire. Your daughter's after shooting the dog there with water.
yes, with water.
That is class. So yeah, it's a sauna, and they've got the hot tub, I think, as well. You go into the sauna, you come out, and you jump down into the Boyne like a plunge pool. Come back out again, straight back into the sauna, and then into the.
But they're quite popular because I was talking to someone at work, like they're from like Dublin, and they travel down there to do it. It's well known. Yeah. There's getting loads of hits. Hotbox sauna is what it's called.
That's on Instagram, as it was.
Yeah, and Bective Mill is on Instagram, but the other back open coffee shop.
Bective Mill, then what did it? So Hotbed Sauna is the sauna, and then Bective Mill is the coffee shop.
Yeah, they're two separate things,
but they're in the same drive-out.
Yeah.
And Hotbox is owned by the same people, or is it a franchise?
No, I think they're a separate group that own that or they rent it out.
Oh,
to them,
so
whatever.
they don't run it as well.
No. So they do. I think Sinead does. What is it? Yoga and Pilates, and then there's tea and coffee and there's lots of cool stuff. And then there's a big like open green space with benches and stuff. It's just if you have a young family out there for a few hours and let the kids run around.
Because you can walk across the road then to the Abbey.
The Abbey's there.
Where loads of people take photos of the car to put them up in Dundee.
Really?
That's the new thing now. Have something nice in the background, like scenic photos,
like fish profiles on Tinder.
Yeah, must be.
So there you go.
How would we? Oh, we can talk about it later. But how would we do an on the move podcast?
Just stick bags around the mics and then into the hot tub with us.
But we need all the stuff, would we?
Yeah. Throw it in the sauna. It'd be great.
Do the same as we did here today, I suppose.
Yeah,
cool.
In you go. Oh, could we do it from inside the sauna?
Yeah, well, that's what I was doing.
Would the equipment handle that?
Well, Yeah, probably not, but yeah.
Let's do it anyway.
Yeah, sure, why not? We're a thriving podcast now, so we can afford to buy new mics and stuff. The other thing then, speaking of kids, a friend of mine was at this last year, no, maybe the year before, it was probably cancelled last year. Kaleidoscope, did you ever hear of Kaleidoscope?
I heard of a Kaleidoscope.
That's for kids. It's in some Wicklow grounds.
Yeah, so it's like a kid-friendly music festival over 3 days camping. I think the ticket is $249 for a family ticket for the weekend. And like the acts that are there, it's like June 24th to 26th. You've got Feeder, James Morrison,
no way.
King Kong Company, Camille O'Sullivan, Ryan Mullivan, lots of really, really big acts, like, and it's like any other, like Oxygen, any of those type of festivals, but it's based or it's geared towards having your kids there, just to give them like what's the word I'm looking for?
No idea.
The experience of a music festival. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know what I was going to go there, but it's cool. Yeah, cool idea.
Yeah.
And it's in, where is the place? Russborough House.
Kaleidoscope. As in what age group would you ring?
Well, he brought
Carrie and Andrew went with kids.
5 and 6 year olds.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
That young, yeah. All the way up, and yeah, good for adults and good for kids as well.
I'll give a plug to Kevin Farrell's festival coming up.
Oh,
you know Kevin?
You know,
he's a musician as well, actually.
All right.
He's from Beliver there, but he runs a festival every year, but he hasn't been able to do it because of COVID. But he runs a festival called Able Fest, and it's for children with special needs.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Like for special needs, autistic children, basically children that don't get to experience general life and fun festivals, because of life. Yeah, because of the sound. So there's this festival called Able Fest. I think he's doing it in Kells.
Causey Farm. I have the details there.
Yeah, but I think they found a new location now. The same owners as Causey Farm, but they're found a new location now, I think near Kells. And it's a great festival. Very cool. Yeah, so
it's the Able Fest.
I'm reading it here on that phone.
2022 Causey Farm.
Yeah,
they do a lot of stuff actually, don't they? Because they do a Christmas extravaganza.
Do you know what's there?
And Halloween H2O. What?
As well as those things, I heard. Remember, Junior Books? That was the disco that we went to.
Yeah.
Llamas. What?
In
what?
In Causey Farm, there's now a
Causey or Causey?
Causey.
Causey.
Okay. Causey Farm.
Yeah,
there's a junior disco where they take all of the sheds and they turn them into different music stages. And there's like 1,000 kids that go to this thing.
Class.
So it's like Junior Books. I think there's one coming up either this week or the week after.
Oh.
But can you imagine, like Junior Books, except a massive scale like that?
Yeah. There was never 1,000 people in Junior Books.
Carnage. There would have been about, 253 maybe?
300 maybe, yeah.
Not 1,000.
Not 1,000.
Jeez.
That's bananas. Nuts.
That's insane.
Can you imagine some of the stuff that's going on there? Well, that too, yeah, that as well. But yeah,
super spreader.
My blood went cold when I heard, like, because my daughter's coming to like 11, 12.
She has to go?
No, not yet. No. It's like 14, 15, 16 in around that age group. But it's like
if
that's
she's
on the horizon.
You should ask to go.
Mad.
Yeah, I'll go with her. I'll chaperone you. I've got a cool story actually coming up in the little Tinder section. But the last bit of news that I have.
Wipe you off your feet.
Well, that's the other thing. I want to have a conversation there about how we were going to name it.
I felt that we were a bit harsh in Scotty last week, hence why the episode was called Swipe You Off Your Feet.
Yeah.
just to throw you a little something.
A little bone. I liked that name, but I'm up for changing it. I had another suggestion of a name. It was, how do you like your waffles in the morning?
Yeah, that's waffle themed, and we are the waffle.
A little bit better. Yeah, we'll think about it.
We'll swipe the waffle.
That sounds
That's swiping the waffle.
Dirty. Okay. my last bit of news before we get to that is just coming up to Easter now in the next week.
Yeah.
There has been an outbreak of salmonella on the Kinder eggs.
Kinder eggs, yes, I've seen it.
What shitty timing.
And Kinder products as well, not just the eggs.
Yeah, because herself wants one of those big giant Kinder egg Easter eggs. But I wonder, are the giant Kinder egg Easter eggs made by a different company though? As in, like, are they outsourced?
I know, but they're eggs. That's where salmonella comes from.
Maybe this is where the problem started.
You need to wash your eggs before you pack them.
I had an egg this morning. I wonder, am I okay?
Do you ever drink raw eggs, like Rocky? Don't do that.
Well, we actually have raw eggs in cocktails.
Right.
Yeah, like you know cocktails
do you
at the
not get
foam on top?
salmonella from like raw eggs? Or is it just like
No, not all the time.
eggs you didn't wash?
I think there's some turtles.
I think it's a random egg.
Licking turtles, no?
No,
Like a batch of eggs could have some.
that's
in it,
why.
not every egg.
That's where you get
really?
the pizza.
Because if all that white foam on top of cocktails, that's egg. Raw egg.
Yeah.
Oh, the white of the egg.
Yeah, the white of the egg. Yeah, you take out your yolk.
Get your yolk.
Get your yolk out.
Yeah, so not good timing for the old Easter eggs and salmonella, so just watch the old...
No, I wonder, was that like a competitor?
Yeah, Cadbury.
Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
The timing, just unbelievable timing.
Yes. Any updates and tell
Yes.
Whatever
because
the topic is.
every so often, like I'm seeing like such and such is following you on Instagram now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, that's
Or
one of Scotty's ones.
Full conversations on the Instagram Messenger as well, which I'm just trying to avoid.
Yeah.
I am staying out of it.
This is all Scotty.
Yeah. I'll hop in and take those ones. So yeah, they're now contacting obviously the Instagram and sending emails rather than going
Got
through
to delink
Tinder,
that from my phone.
which is good. I don't want to be sitting on Tinder the whole day, like replying to people when my kids are playing. That's just weird. So sitting on Instagram talking to women is absolutely fine though.
Yes.
But the general vibe that I'm getting over the last few days is that men seem to only really want one thing. Is a lot of the stories that I'm getting back. This seems to be a lot of the problem. Now there are decent lads out there, but a lot of the issues that I'm getting, and this is from
it's a percentage thing though.
Yeah, but
You know,
like a very high percentage are coming back with these stories.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so yeah, just like wildly inappropriate stuff straight away after matching. And I think do lads kind of think of it as a numbers game? It's like, okay, if I fire out this message,
that's kind of
to 100 women,
that's kind of harsh. Then you see when it goes like that, because obviously it'll put a lot of girls off Tinder, and there's probably people on Tinder that probably are there for the right reasons.
Yeah,
and they're going to find it even harder now because of all the fucking dickheads.
But that's the thing. Like
it's all good lads down. Like.
It's a strange dynamic, the whole Tinder thing. It's not like a normal way to meet people, because you know straight away. The person that you've matched with has 10 other options sitting in there. I
say it was lit over the pandemic though.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, but anyway, lads' bios kind of was the topic this week, and just what the stuff that they have in their bios. One of the ones I want to see if you think this is or funny or not. If you put it in your bio, so this is from a guy called, I call him Zach. It says 2 facts about me. 1, my I'm going to say ding dong is the size of an Argos pen. 2,
I assume he didn't say ding dong.
No, he didn't say ding dong. 2, I'm banned from Argos.
Banned from Argos.
Yeah, you kind of have to use your own imagination, really, don't you?
Yeah. Instantly, I'm thinking about what. So it engages you straight away. So
maybe he went in naked and he thought he was invisible.
Happens to the best of us. You were just telling me a story about Jack Daniels and Coke before we started.
Yes.
Could well have happened to you.
Yes.
So
I think if that's his like Instagram and it's a joke between friends, but you're putting yourself out there as like it's an advertisement for you. And I think if I was a girl and I seen that, I'd be like, oh, eat.
Yeah, like is he expecting someone to read that and go, oh, you're so funny?
I think so.
And he gets a message like,
I think so.
Unless he attached like the article from the newspaper on why he's banned.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think it's real now. I think it's just
it could be a funny story.
It's interesting one. The next one then is I've lost my lighter. I'm on here to find matches.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
now there could be some people who like that sense of humor though.
Yeah,
like that's a dad joke, really, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think humor's important. You don't want to be a total dry.
So there could, in fairness to a girl, there could be a girl who thinks, "Oh, that's hilarious matches," you know?
Yeah.
And then they can get married.
That's how it happens.
I think that's how it works. Yeah. Okay, this next one then. Sarah sent this one in. She has no problem with being named on the podcast. Harry Sarah. She says that she's come across a lot of really passive aggressive bios. So people that have had people that have had obviously little altercations and stuff on Tinder, and now they're using their bio to tell everyone that, you know.
Oh, that just to deviate from that for a second. That's a lot like adverts.
Yeah.
It's like no deals. The ad will remain up until sold. It's like all the questions. But people are stupid on adverts. Just really quick, like when you have an ad on adverts, right, especially weights equipment, right, there could be a rack with a set of weights and a big capital letters in the ad, it says, weights are not for sale, rack only. The first question, are the weights for sale?
The rack for sale, yeah.
And I seen one that was a couch, and there was something in the background of the couch, and it's clearly the ad for the couch. I think, was it like a buggy or a stroller, and they're like, oh, is the buggy for sale? I just think, it's the ad for the couch, like, just read the fucking thing.
Oh, there's some really stupid people on Facebook, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but like, 'cause even like, I'm not going to advertise the business and say this is but I see things like we'd put up advertisements on Facebook, right? We're going off the Tinder subject here.
That's all right.
We put advertisements up for the business. We could put up maybe a post with maybe 15 different products, and there'd be a large range of products. From like one would be £1,000, one would be €20, and there'd be prices on it.
Yeah.
And there'd be 15 different products, and they comment under all of the products how much.
See that the whole thing.
And you're like, yeah. And so you ask them, naturally, you're just like, hey, thanks for your message. This is so good for you to message us. Which product were you talking about?
But on like your profile, like, how many characters have you got on Tinder?
I want to say 300 maybe.
What's a Twitter tweet? 300?
No, 130.
Well, it was 151, wasn't it? Or
100, yeah.
So then they increased it. They doubled it, I think.
Yeah.
Like, that's your first, right? So with your photos, which you talked about in the last episode, and you look at the photo might stop you for a second and say, oh yeah, they look alright. The next thing is going to be your profile or your bio. I mean, so like, the advertisement first is your face and your photos to flick through them.
Yeah.
And we talked about what kind of photos you need. Next thing then is the bio. So you might have tucked them in with the photos, but then like the bio is also
the bio is
important.
the seal of the deal.
Yeah. And I don't mind jokes like funny, because if that's your sense of humour, that's you, and someone will find that funny. Where like,
do you want that as a first impression?
Well, like Annette probably finds you hilarious.
She does.
Yeah. So like,
she does.
We find you funny like maybe 80% of the time. Yes. So you see,
I find it hilarious quite a lot of the time, actually.
Unknowing to myself.
So like, your bio has to be something that's not going to be weird.
Now I'll give on that. I'll give you one. This is Jordan. He's from Down Under, and this is his bio. I thought this was quite clever because it got me thinking. So I'll try to do it. I'll try and do this all the way through. So it goes.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it in an Australian accent there for a second.
I could try.
Oh.
Will it? No. Not
I would love to hear it.
Okay. Hello, ladies.
All right.
Look at the last guy you met. No, I'm not going to do it.
That's South African.
Yeah. I tail from Australian into South African quite easily. Look at the last guy you matched. Now back to me. Now back to the last guy you matched. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if you stopped leaving his bio blank and had better pictures, he could be more like me. Now look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on Tinder with the man of your dreams. What's in your hand? Back to me. I have it. It's a pizza with your favourite toppings on it. Look again. The pizza is now your favourite dog. Anything is possible when you match with me on Tinder.
I want to match with this guy.
That's the Old Spice ad.
Yeah, that's from the Old Spice ad.
That's good.
Genius.
I like that.
Yeah. Very clever. I thought that was cool.
Because even if you didn't know the ad, you think, oh, that's quite clever.
Yeah.
Very,
very smart. I like that. So props to that dude there. Yeah. Okay, I've got two more just from Down Under. A funny story, and then I'll run through. Actually, maybe I'll just do the bios. So this was Alana from Oz. She messaged through Instagram. She's not from Oz. She's an Irish girl. She's been down there for quite some time, and she sent me through a few funny bios. So the first one is a lad called Craig, fully dressed as Santa Claus. That's his only picture that he has.
Only available once a year.
Only.
Come once and I'm gone.
In his bio about him, it says, "Broke up with my ex because she didn't know how I like my coffee. I'm pretty simple." That's it. Another one then is
I think you have to be like really, 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 really ridiculously good looking to get away with
absolutely
a bio like that, one photo.
Or built, properly built. Another guy, Matthew, is a professional wrestler, has blood all over his face.
Is that his only photo?
I don't know, I can't swipe on him there, but
I'm sure people are into that.
Yeah, maybe, if that's your thing.
People like wrestling.
We've got a guy with tattoos all over his face, but he's actually in quite good shape.
Is he Maori? Oh no.
No, I don't think so.
I love the way it's his face and just the top bit of his chest, and he has a whole body that's a canvas and he has nothing on it.
You could have started somewhere like down the bottom and then worked your way back up there.
Yeah, work your way up.
It's a working project.
He might do it around.
This another one Alana said is quite common in Australia is guys in prison with Tinder profiles. big gang of prison lads.
You're allowed the phones, eh?
Apparently so.
Maybe it's low security. Like
could be a certain time of day or something. Maybe.
Oh.
Anyway, Alana sent in a load of those. There's tons of them there. I'll get to some more of them next week.
It's like on what is it? Is a Family Guy where they talk about the Canadian jail. And it's like, oh, I'm just nipping out to the shops. Okay, be back for bedtime.
Yeah.
Low security.
So friendly. I don't think it's like that in Australia.
No.
They were like the original prison colony.
Right.
That's where they sent people.
That's where they learned prison.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it came from. So, okay, I'll finish off with just the last one. This is Grace. She's also from Oz. This story I thought was quite interesting. So I'll just read this out verbatim. Okay, first story is a real cracker. She's actually from Australia. So I matched with a guy from my local area and we decided to go on a date at the local pub and have a meal and some drinks. He picks me up from the house, but when we get back to the car, there's another woman sitting in the car. He turns and says to me, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, my mum is coming to chaperone."
Ah, bless.
I thought he was joking, but nope. It was his mum sitting in the front seat and said she'll be watching me closely, laughing my ass off. And she watched me like a hawk for the whole night. And when he dropped me off, she turns to me and says to me, "Well, Brad will not be contacting you again. You're not a right fit for him." Oh, and did I forget to mention, this guy is in his 40s.
Wow.
Ox. Totally ox.
He has a love agent.
Yeah. Imagine that, bringing your mum on a Tinder date.
I wonder why he's single in his 40s.
Yeah, I think we know why he's single in his 40s. Because of his poor mammy. But yeah, there you go. That's my crazy story for this week.
I wonder what is the background of that. Is it that she comes along, forces him to bring her? Does he actually want to bring her? Like, how does he think the dynamic is going to work when he goes on a date with his mum? Like, that's what I wonder.
Some people are very trusting of their mammies. That's quite an Irish thing as well. Young lads who are just still attached.
Yeah, but whatever about bringing someone back to meet your mum, like after a few dates or whatever. But bring your mum on a date.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, people are weird. I've heard worse.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks that's just normal. I don't know.
Maybe. I can't imagine that it would be very successful though.
Sometimes I have a hard time remembering all my passwords, but yet I can sing beautiful on cue apparently.
There's an app for that, I think, for storing your passwords.
Not singing it well though. Yeah. Oh, I seen a thing last night on the telly box. It was on Gogglebox, but it was a show, and you know sometimes they show you a show and you're thinking, oh, where is the show? I want to watch the show.
Yeah.
It was a scam or something, and so they were following people who were trying to ring people and scam people in England, but they were like jumping in there first, no idea how they were doing it. But this one was getting scammed because someone had like hacked into an app they're using to set up their banking or some kind of banking, and was taking like screenshots of their IBAN or whatever the English version of IBAN is, their BIC and all that. And the last thing was the face recognition. Next minute the face comes up and they're like, oh my god, that's like a famous person in England. It was some, I don't know, loose women one or something, I think. And they're like, oh my god, we have to try and stop her because she's about to lose all her money, like.
Oh my god.
And they was able to pull up her number and they text her and to say, oh, that's a scam, don't do that. And then like she exited out of the app that she was doing or whatever, and then they rang her up and said, oh, this is what was it called, Scammer or something, Stop Scammer or something. I don't know, I can't remember what the show was called. She said, oh my god, thank you so much and everything. And it was like literally when they showed how they done it, it was so simple, like on how they just like download this app, they like piggybacked or whatever the term is of the app and was taking all, because it was like a legitimate app that she was trying to set up. Yeah, it was just so happens that they were in on it as well, and they were able to take all the information. It's mad, like.
The best scams are the ones that are so simple.
Yeah,
the ones that make you go, this is so easy that, like, just can't be anything wrong with this. This is like so smooth. Yeah,
because currently all the verification. So now, like, there's certain things that'll come up on your phone, and you have to verify the phone before the money's taken or whatever. On your phone, or whichever way you've set that up, or just drop your phone and we'll see.
That was a phone drop.
Yeah, that was a phone drop.
I can edit that.
He's got a statement to make.
I think if you had said something funny or something, it's like a phone drop. But some people are annoyed by all them verified by Visa and everything. But you're just thinking, if it just takes the extra few minutes to buy something, and you felt a bit safer, would you not be better off? Like,
yeah.
I know it's a pain in the hole, but like, exactly.
Speaking about scams, I knew a fella, I won't say who this is, but I used to live in Ranelagh for a little while, and he was getting dropped off to college. That's
posh, is it?
It's quite posh, yeah. it was in the middle of Ranelagh. I think I talked about that before. It was a 2-room house, and there was 3 of us living in it. One room was a living room and kitchen. The other room was a bedroom with 3 smelly lads. So not fun.
Nice.
But my other friend, who shall remain nameless, would get dropped off there in the morning because he was in college in UCD, and he'd spend a few hours there with us before he'd head off. Who are you waving at?
The camera, sorry. Just make sure it stays on.
So he'd kind of rock up to Ranelagh in the morning, and he'd have, say, a 20 quid note in his pocket, and he'd head off after he'd come in and steal my noodles. He'd head off to the first shop, and he'd go in and he'd buy, say, a 10 box of fags, and they were under a tenner at that stage. So he'd go in and get the fags, come back out, and your change would be, say, coins, a fiver and a tenner, and then he'd take the tenner, he'd put it in his pocket. I think he initially ripped the €20 note at the top just to kind of verify that it was a 20 or keep it in their head.
Genius.
And then he'd go back in again and be like, sorry, you shortchanged me by 10, and I gave you a €20 note. I think you'll remember it. It's got a little rip on the top of it. And so the cashier go in, look at me like, oh yeah, sorry, hand him a tenner. So he's up a tenner now. So he'd go to the next shop then, and he kept on repeating this at different shops throughout Dublin. And by the end of the summer, well, every morning he'd come back and he'd hand me like I used to smoke at the time. He'd hand me like 50 boxes of smokes. And at the end,
what was this guy's name?
I cannot tell you this.
Were you in prison at the time?
No.
Was this the currency?
I just really loved smoking, and so did he as well. He smoked as well.
It's not cool, kids. Don't smoke.
No, it's definitely not. I quit very soon after that.
That's why Scotty is so short. It's stunted his growth.
I've been short since I was born.
It's very common, to be honest. A lot of people did that in Super Bowl. Like,
really?
They'd also. What they do is to try and confuse the checkout girl. Like, they come in with 50 quid, and then they'd buy like something for 4 quid, and then they'd hand over the 50, and then the person would put the 50 in the till, and then like after she'd be like, oh wait, no, can you give me the change of another 50 there, and she'd give the change of another 50, and just change of this 20, give us 2 tens of that 20, and by the time they have it all redone, it's like your man had gotten 110 quid change back, and
Jesus.
But I was scammed once in person, actually.
Right.
If you want to hear that story.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can get it right, because it was one of these simple scams that I wasn't online. It was back in it was probably 7 years ago. But I was selling me PlayStation 4 on adverts.
Right.
And basically I was selling it for, I think, 450 quid back then. And what I did, and I got an offer for 450 quid on adverts. You know the way that works.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, happy days, that's great. You know, asking price. And so I accepted that. And then, so I messaged your man and said, how are you getting on? Blah, blah. Yeah, it's yours. There you go. Send us on the thing. And he goes, do you use PayPal? I said, yeah. Give my PayPal address or sent to him a request. Yeah, that's the way it works. So basically, I got an email address from him, sent him the request for the 450 quid. And then, so I got 450 quid that night. And I was like, this is great. When can you collect? And he said, I'll be in tomorrow. I said, brilliant. So next day, I'm not being racist, but a pair of travellers turned up, and I didn't mind who they were. I just said, I'm grand, buying PlayStation. Everybody plays PlayStation. So had a quick chat with him. Nice guy. Had a quick chat with him about PlayStation. Like, I think there was a game and everything included. He was like, oh great, kind of dead on. He's a nice guy. Shook his hand. They drove off. Then a week later, a week later, I got the PayPal payment was taken back out of the account. So I had emailed. I tried ringing that number back. They weren't answering, because obviously I was going, right, classic. He's after cancelling that. He's after scamming me. Yeah. So I rang that number back. Weren't answering. Left a voicemail saying, you're after scamming me. Blah, I'm ringing the guards. You don't ring me back. All this kind of jazz. No joy back. So I just got the email address that I paid the PayPal to, and I emailed and said, you're after scamming me. I'm ringing the guards, such and such. Got an email back saying, sorry, who are you? And I went, I'm the guy you bought the PlayStation 4 off. He said, I didn't buy a PlayStation 4 off. I was emailing him over and back. And I said, did you buy anything off adverts? He said, yeah, I bought an iPhone off adverts. I said, what? Yeah, I paid some guy for an iPhone and I haven't got it. So I requested the money back. So what they had actually did was they were selling an iPhone for 450 quid. I was selling my PlayStation. So what they did was, at the exact same time as they were buying my PlayStation, they were selling the iPhone.
Oh my God.
They had told your man, saying, okay, send the 450 quid to this address.
Oh.
So that night I got the 450 quid. But so, and then your man never got the iPhone. They cut all contact with him, so he just went, "Where's my iPhone?"
I take back money.
So he went into PayPal and requested back the money, which is in his right to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the money, 450 quid, came out of my account.
And that's an option on PayPal to take money back.
Yeah, if you don't get your goods, you can dispute the payment.
Yeah.
So you basically take it back. But because I was the seller, I had no rights.
Oh.
So because Karen Daly was working in PayPal at the time, and I rang her.
Yeah.
I was furious. And I was like, "Karen, you did this." And so I was like, "Karen, this
you owe me €450."
So Karen, I was like, "Karen, is there anything you could do to help me?" She's like, "No, unfortunately not. It's PayPal's rules."
Man.
And I was like, "Jeez, that is crazy."
In one way, it's nice for like when you're buying stuff and you've given money.
Yeah.
That's an option to get the money back.
Yeah.
But not when you're a seller and you get screwed over.
Because I got your man's number, I rang him and I said, "Look, we've both been scammed, obviously." And he was like, "Yeah, just sorry to hear that."
Yeah, I haven't. That's insane. That's insanely clever as well.
It's simple but clever.
Yeah.
At the exact same time, they were selling the iPhone, and so the exchange was done at the exact same time. So basically, your man got free PlayStation.
But is that not the thing? Like that, all these people seem to be very smart in that, and if they actually put that into like something productive, they will probably have a good job. Like
Yeah.
But I did ring the guards and told them the scenario, and I had a friend in Trim Garda Station at the time, and I said to her, "Here's the mobile number of this guy." And she looked it up over the phone, and she said, "Yeah, he's a traveller, you know that?" And I said, "Yeah, I do know that, but what are we going to do about it?" She said, "You're better off not doing anything."
Janie Mac.
And I said, "Well, okay, you sure? Can I not just call it?" She said, "I wouldn't go there."
Holy moly.
So it's obviously a fairly high profile family or gang that the guards won't even go near.
Janie. And that was it? No more PlayStation?
That was it, I just left it. So.
And did you get another console then after that?
No. Oh, well, I got one like a year and a half after.
All right,
I think I was paying, I was selling it because like I had to pay the bills. Basically.
I
think I had one of them months where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to have enough money to pay the mortgage this month.
Yeah.
It was like 10 years, 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, you'd have a PlayStation out in a field, or you live in a house.
Yeah.
You know, weigh it up.
So once everything back to normal, I just bought another PlayStation again.
I remember those times I used to have to buy 3 breakfast rolls for €1 on the way to work.
Yeah, the good old days.
That was my breakfast. 3 breakfast rolls, or 3 sausage rolls. Sorry, 3 sausage rolls for €1.
I think those moments, you know, when you have no money in your account, and you're kind of struggling to kind of get money in, and you're worrying about the bills and stuff. I know it's terrible and all, but I never felt so alive in those moments that when I actually make those payments in the end and I get by it and your account is looking good again. When you look back in it, it's like, Jesus, how did I survive that?
That was close. Like,
well, when I went back to do a course, it was about a 4-month course, but it was a full-time course. So I had to work in the evening time at 4 o'clock or whatever. So it was like 9 to 2, Monday to Friday, or Monday to Thursday maybe, and I had Friday off. And it started in September, and it was finishing at the end of January. And I remember it was around 16th of January, and I went to the shop and I wanted like a toffee crisp, and I was counting the brown change in my car for the toffee crisp. And I even like slid back my seat in the hope that like €2 had fallen down there and I had forgotten about it.
We stuck in the rails, maybe you could pick it out.
the ground at the back of the car is always a lifesaver. The back of the seat.
Yeah.
There's always something there, even on the passenger side, because you feel like you're robbing someone.
When I used to get paid on the 28th, like I'd always buy a scratch card or two. And then if there was money on it, I'd keep it in my sun visor for like the 26th of the month, just in case I needed an extra few quid. And I always had my emergency fiver, my emergency fiver somewhere in my car.
Where do you keep it? Where do you keep it? Where do you keep it now? Where do you keep the fiver at the minute?
I still have my emergency fiver just in case.
You have to have an emergency fiver.
Yeah.
Hello.
But an audience.
Yeah.
But going on scams though, I heard the one about the 3 Irishmen walk into a pub. No,
White long face. Is that the end of it?
And this fellow was selling a car. Maybe you've heard this one before.
No, tell us.
So they arrive. I think it was a father and a daughter. Anyway, the daughter was buying the car, brought the father along. Met your man outside the house, checked the car, brought the car for a spin. Oh yeah, happy enough for that. Now we'll buy that. Gave him the money, whatever. I think it was a couple of grand, 5 or 6 grand or something. And your man goes, "Oh, hang on there a second. I have a spare key as well, and sure, I'll give that to you too." And he disappears like a house and estate house through the side gate, and went down and disappeared. It wasn't even his house.
No way.
Yeah. So it was a stolen car. that they're after buying. They rang the guards, like the guards came because that they found out, they run the reg plate.
Yeah.
That car has been stolen.
Wow.
And then they found out who owned the house, and they contacted them or whatever, and they came home and it wasn't who they were dealing with. So he had like gone down the back of the house, hopped the hedge and disappeared.
Jeez.
With the money and all after robbing the car. Like.
Mad.
And that was it. Gone.
That was it. Yeah, gone. Yeah.
I got done something similar to your story there. It wasn't adverts now. It was like a PayPal-y thing. But when it was kind of mid-pandemic, myself and a friend of mine decided to do like a music project. So we were writing songs together, and then we had these two songs that we were trying to promote. And on
This is the one Ed Sheeran released. Was that you and Cork during the week? No.
Well, no, me and Ed wrote a few tunes together. They never saw the light of day, though. So I was trying to promote this tune, and like the big thing on Spotify is getting it into a playlist. If you get into a popular playlist, you're sorted.
It'll just play randomly.
Yeah, it'll fire on people's, and people will follow you, and that's the way to kind of get kind of traction on Spotify.
Stick Waffle Me This onto it and JB Waffle Air onto that.
I think it just deserves to stay where it is.
Should we have like a...
I'll do an extended version of it.
Yeah,
maybe.
I was just going to say,
like a full song.
Extended version of the JB Waffle Air.
I'm going to do it live, maybe.
Me and Johnny can harmonise.
Yeah. Will we actually? If
but
it gets
first, you have to teach us how to sing. Well, I don't know, Johnny. Sorry, maybe you can sing. Maybe you have like an angelic voice that we've never heard of.
I'm afraid I'll get discovered. I'm very busy in life at the moment.
Can't fit in a music career as well.
Just can't.
Yeah, too much fame.
Carry on.
You get on sax, maybe.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll get you on the spoons. Or on drums, actually. You were doing drums for a little while in the school.
Yeah, the only thing is, right, I'm going to cut...
Speaking of scams, I got you doing drum lessons in the music school.
I was okay, but I had to learn the songs. I couldn't feel the songs.
Well, that comes with... We're going to get into me just teaching you now, if you want. That takes time to get to that point.
Because I remember when I was in doing... Oh, sorry, no, actually, finish your story first.
Sorry, okay, so Spotify.
Spotify.
We haven't done the news or anything. We're going to do this all backwards.
The running order just... I don't know.
This is a good topic, though, so let's stick with it.
Proper waffling.
Yeah, we'll do the news later. So yeah, Spotify. There was this guy on Instagram, I think it was. He was saying that, oh look, I've got this playlist and it's got so many million followers. I'll put ye in it for this amount. It's 150 quid. You can stay in the playlist for 2 months and it'll gain you this amount of traction. I was like, oh, that sounds quite good. So I went looking at the playlist and stuff, and there was a lot of like legitimate artists and a few younger kind of non-known artists and stuff. I was like, yeah, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. Oh, it cursed. And he was like, PayPal to this, PayPal €150 to this account, and then I'll stick it in. So I PayPal'd it, grand, and he stuck the song in the playlist. And it was there, it's grand.
So it actually was there, legitimately.
It was there, yeah. And I don't know how this came about though, but I started seeing like comments on his Instagram, and it was like, oh, I need my money back. Where's my money? And all the comments on his pictures and stuff was, you scam me this, you scam me this. Like, oh, damn it.
And how much, do you mind asking how much you gave?
150.
150, sorry.
Yeah, it was either 100 or 150. It wasn't too much, like, but at the same time, it's the principle of it.
Yeah, if it was 20 quid, you might roll it off.
Yeah. So I went back in and I was looking at the views in our song, and it wasn't going up. It was just sitting steady. So it was basically this. It was like a fake. I don't know how he did it, but it was like a fake playlist where he was able to like generate the numbers to like make it look as if it had this amount of viewers, but it actually had basically none.
Oh, the fucker.
Yeah. So I went back. I sent him an Instagram message. I was like, I need my money back. Blah 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 blah. You scammed me. No reply. I went in through PayPal. Then I emailed him and couldn't find him. So I eventually found his brother, and I emailed his brother. I was like,
wow.
this is for 150 quid. I was like, I'm not giving up on this. So I emailed his brother, and the brother got back to me. He's like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear about that. I'll get in touch, but heard nothing. So I found his parents on Instagram.
Nice.
I found out where he lived, and I sent the parents a message, and I said, look, basically I'm going to be contacting the, whatever it was, Rutledge, I think was the name of the place, police department, if I don't get my money back.
He wasn't even in Ireland, like?
No, he's in the States.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you can't exactly, like, rock up and knock on his door?
No. And he knew I was
€800 flight.
Yeah, for the €100 back. I wasn't going to go that far, but I was going to send a few messages and stuff. So I just started bombarding his Instagram with, because I've got a few Instagram accounts for the bands and stuff. I started bombarding him from all the areas, like, I'm going to get you, and blah, blah, blah. And eventually the money just one day appeared back into my PayPal.
Nice.
And that was it. Nothing was said. And I just okay, fine, I'll leave you alone then. But I got it back, which was fine.
I wonder if there a good way to like get back at scammers if you have an email address, or you have, like, you know the way, like if I had someone's email address and scam me, I'd probably try and sign them up to as many spammy things as possible. Where their inbox is
well,
just
did
full
you
of
see
crap
the video
and
during the pandemic? Your man was out in his back garden, obviously nothing to do, and a scammer rang him.
Right.
And he kept her on the phone for the guts of 12 minutes. And literally she had to hang up on him.
No way.
Yeah, it was quality, yeah. He put some of the clips up or whatever, and the audio on and all, or what she was saying, because she had it on speaker or whatever, and like full on scamming. And she said, oh yeah, like I'm really interested in that, and tell me more, and what company are you from, and where is that located, and all that. And then she started getting like missing answers and things like that, and suddenly realised, oh, I'm being done here. And she was trying to wrap up the phone call. Like,
wasn't there a guy? There was a TED talk on it. A comedian in England. That's kind of what he does.
Oh, he does that, does he?
Yeah, but he'll get like an email, like the one you got from Patrick, your cousin.
Oh yeah.
And he'll start replying to them. And kind of tag them along for ages, and then he'll change and say, oh, you have to contact my wife because I'm heading out of the country or whatever, and he'll give them another email address, and they'll contact that, and then he'll keep them going on the wife's one for another, like, for days. Like, I'll send you that. It's a good one. The TED talk.
But one of the ones one of the clients I had said, can't remember whether it's the sister or the wife's sister, and she got done rotten with someone like a love interest from Eastern Europe or something. Send me money. No, it was built up like he had played the long game. Like, it was like over the course of 6 months, and then eventually the thing about coming over was raised, but I can't get over, I need the money or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it was like 20,000 or something.
Oh no.
And you're just thinking, like, is he going to cycle over? I mean, why is it taking him 20,000 to come from Eastern Europe?
That's unbelievable. That's proper like Tinder swindler type.
A full idea. On, like, you know. Now, I know when you go, you know, when a random phone call rings you and says, oh, you owe this or whatever, yeah, you can kind of go, oh no, that's not right. But over the course of 6 months, you're just thinking, and that person is still messaging and has all the photos and everything, and literally, like, she went to check up on him and everything was gone, like Instagram accounts, Facebook, all the things that people would usually Google to check to see is it a real person, they were all gone. Like,
disappeared.
Yeah, disappeared.
But there's lads that live off that like make a living out of just going around scamming people.
Yeah.
The newest one is like, is it AAB trying to ring you off a mobile number or something? Or is it banks or? I think it's banks, but if you get a call from...
Well, Sarah got done with the bank. Like, a scammer rang her to tell her she was being scammed.
What?
Yeah, so they rang up as if you're from like the scammers, scammer department in Bank of Ireland or whatever, and they said, "Oh, you're being scammed. You know, we need you to verify your account so we can stop the money coming out." And she said, "Oh, that's a bit weird." And it rang from like a Bank of Ireland number. She had it saved in her phone as Bank of Ireland.
No way.
And it came up on all.
How'd they do that?
And she ran down to town, and because Bank of Ireland had been hacked and told nobody.
No way.
Yeah. So anyway, she got her money back within, I think, was it 3 days. But like,
much? Did she lose much?
Well, not to say how much money Sarah has.
No, well, just
but like, it wasn't like a couple of hundred. Like,
it was a substantial
that she had in her current account. But I got my card done. I remember getting the text message, and I think, oh no, that's probably fake or whatever. And I went to the ATM on the way home from work in Browns, and I put in my card, and it ate my card, like.
Right.
And I think, oh, that's the ATM must be broke or something. Next minute, like, literally bang, the phone rang, and I was talking to him, and he goes, "Oh yeah, your account, your credit card is a skim, they call it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some irregular transactions on your card. Can we go through a few of them?" And I said, "Yeah, that's grand." And it was like Sneakers Republic somewhere in America, and something else then in America.
That does sound like you, in fairness.
Yeah. And then he says, "Are these any of yours?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Are you in America now?" And he goes, "No, I'm outside Browns and Kilcock." And he's thinking, oh, okay, because a lot of money could be taken. And I says, "Do you know what day it is, or date it is?" He goes, "It's the 27th. Yeah, I don't get paid till tomorrow. There's like a tenner in that account." So he's like, "Oh, grand, so there's no problem." He says, no, because he says, so what to do is to take a little bit to see does it work.
Yeah, to test it.
Then they'll take a little bit, and he said the third one then is the big one.
Yeah.
So they had tried like a $5 or $6 or whatever, and then they had tried maybe 20 something, and that didn't get taken. So they literally had just left it alone. Then, like, you know.
But you know, with the cards, the way we have with bank cards today, you can just go in and tap. How much? What's the limit on that? Is it 20?
It is 50. It was 25, and then during COVID,
they put it up
to 50 because of the trouble.
Did you see the little young lad that done his parents out of money.
No.
He went and was like tapping the €30 every because you don't need the password.
Yeah.
So he was like running up like tap bills of like thousands.
But
on the credit card.
There's a limit in the amount of times you can tap it in a row.
five taps in a day or something.
Right, okay.
Obviously he was...
Oh, in a day?
Yeah.
But on mobile, you can tap on a mobile for any
amount, yeah. That's quite dangerous.
It is.
Although, because my kids know my password to my phone.
Did you see, 2 kids, I seen it on TikTok, and or should I call it like ClickTok, just for... I don't know, not getting sued. I don't know.
Click-tock. Tock-tick.
Yeah.
That would be the legitimate way for you to say it.
And and it was like the 2 kids are like in America where they have like the garage is open or whatever and the car is in it and the 2 kids have their head in the boot.
Right.
And to go, who did this? And I was like, Jacob, was this you? And they just have their eyes covered and their head on the boot of the car. No, it wasn't. He says, did you order this off my account? No, we didn't. And the camera pans across and it's like an 85-inch TV was after being delivered.
I think I've seen that.
Beautiful.
It was so funny. And they're only like, what? Did you see the kids?
I've seen them. They're like very young.
6 and 4 maybe or something.
Huge TV,
Yeah. So whatever they were playing on an iPad or something, and it's connected because you have all your accounts connected.
I've seen on Reddit though the other day that some kid spent $4,500 on Roblox.
Oh no!
From their parents' phone.
Yeah, easily done. I'd say.
Yeah, and it's not the first time I've heard it, but yeah.
What's that game?
Roblox is like a kid's game, which I just don't understand because the graphics are terrible. This day and age, I'll never understand Roblox and Minecraft.
Yeah,
but is it just that they're bad, so they're classic like?
No, what you can do is
simple?
you can go on. Let's say you make an avatar, a person, right, that you're walking around. You can dress that person to whatever clothes you want.
Yeah.
There's standard clothes, but then there's clothes that you buy with this money called Robux. My daughter's coming up constantly.
This sounds like a scam.
Yeah. Waffle bucks.
So if you want this jumper, it'd be like 20 Robux, and you can get 80 Robux, I think, for €1.09.
Right.
Should we make a game with like the waffles, and you have to join the waffles up in order, and then you have to buy like extra waffles?
Let's just concentrate on making a good podcast.
Yeah. Let's plan our scam off air.
Yeah, it's not wise to do that.
Evidence and all that.
I don't understand those games either. We talked about that as well. Just the graphics are shocking.
Weird. Yeah,
shocking.
Because obviously, like every year, like or a new thing came out on PlayStation or whatever, like Xbox, it was all about how good the graphics are after getting.
Yeah.
And now people want to go back to like a simple thing.
Roblox and Minecraft.
Did you play that joke like years ago of the running fella? It was on like the PC, and you could Google it, and you had to press like, was it YP? What's the 4 keys that are together?
Was it just the Google logo? You could play the Google logo.
No, it's some game, and it was like an Olympic runner.
Oh,
but you had to try and keep him balanced, and he had like real dangly legs.
It had loads of different Olympic games to it.
Yeah,
I remember that game.
People just went mad over it.
Yeah.
And the same with that Wordle. Wordle is such a simple thing.
Yeah,
People are going ballistic over it. Like.
That's gone nuts. But I think it's kind of dying down a little bit now.
I must give it a go before it dies down.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot about it.
I don't know. What? Do you have any news?
I do have news. Will we get into the news then?
Yeah, we may as well, do we?
Yeah.
Scammer Central. How not to get scammed.
It's literally a scammer episode.
That's a good topic though. That's a solid topic.
Scammers.
Yeah,
well, do you have any more before we move on? I think they're
any more
ones
scams
I've done.
I would like to discuss like in the future how to get back at scammers or how to.
Well,
had their phone number.
I got an email and it was in Irish. So I think they must be like trying to let's relate to this person.
Yeah.
Not knowing that I'm not that good at the
I've
Irish.
only got junior cert.
But they obviously like Google Translate it because as I was reading it, I didn't understand it. Right, so I was thinking, right, I'm just not good at Irish. I gave it to Sarah, and Sarah had to read of it, and she goes, no, they must have Google translated it, and it came up wrong. I was like, oh, thank God, so I'm not that stupid.
Yeah, you're leaving cert Irish, failing you yet again.
And then I have one's coming up lately. It's like your I said that before, like your electricity usage or something.
Yeah,
I'm getting a load of them. I don't know what that's about. See your one on just taking over now on Twitter, and this is a sad story now, but about the electricity and the price of electricity and everything, that she was saying like she had cut down on the use, I know, switching off lights and not plugging in shit or whatever, and to try and cut down because she couldn't pay her bill, and then she got a bill for €20 for not using her electricity.
A non-usage.
Yeah, non-usage charge.
Jesus,
what is that about?
That's disgusting.
And then Eamon Ryan, Pierce Doherty challenged Eamon Ryan. Eamon Ryan cannot defend himself at all.
No.
He had to be like, the kid in the playground that just got bet up constantly or something, did he? I don't know. He just can't talk back to him.
I'm not into politics, but Eamon Ryan, I just don't understand what he's saying.
Your man was asking about the price of electricity going up, or why the story is that everything's going up, and he literally mumbled something about the government has to pay for all these things. Where do you think this money is coming for? Russians. And you're just thinking, how did he even get there? That wasn't even a question. And Pierce is like looking back thinking, that's not the what? You know?
But it's typical politics though, isn't it? Like just kind of
what's the one that is renewable electricity? Is it
hydrogen?
No, the company does it.
Are we coming up with a new way of getting electricity into our houses?
Sorry, it hasn't been invented yet.
Electricity, is it?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Heat pumps.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking into it myself, actually.
There's a guy, I was actually at a party in this estate a few weeks ago.
You weren't there?
No, it was a
party in my estate.
It was a confirmation party, so unless he's hanging around with 12-year-old girls. And
let's just distance ourselves from that. Go on.
So yeah, he was saying that what was it now? I have to try and remember. It was a heat pump that was fueled by gas maybe? But it's basically this three. I should really have done the research in this. It's like a trifecta of ways of getting your electricity into your house. So there's wind.
Yeah.
There's solar panels?
They're drawing heat from underground, I think, aren't they?
Yeah. So
and waffle power.
And waffle power, yeah, from the toaster,
go,
which is plugged into the electricity. So it's a way of getting yourself off the grid, apparently. And you put this little pump on the side of your house, and if the wind isn't going, this thing will kick in. I think it's powered by gas though, because oil is just going to go bananas now in the next little while.
Back in oil.
I'll research that and come back to you actually on what that is.
The boss man, he rang up about his bill. I think it's electricity. Whatever one is meant to be renewable, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Why is my price going up because of the price of fuel when you're renewable and it's meant to come from like windmills or whatever?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, so we like generate electricity, we sell it to the main grid, and we have to buy it back."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "What?
Genius. What a Ponzi scheme!"
And then your man goes, "But to be fair, it wasn't that windy last year." And Paul was like, "What do you mean it wasn't that windy?" So we didn't have that much, so we had to buy in extra electricity from the people who make it in the normal way.
The wind comes across from America, so if America uses all the wind, you don't get much of that.
That's our wind.
Bloody Yanks.
Out there with a net, come back wind.
We have one or two American listeners now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got a message there the other day.
Yeah, we had a couple. And,
Australians as well.
And and Norway, Poland. We had an Afghanistani person.
No way.
Once, on
great. Come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Can you contact them?
No, it just comes up as a number. The little countries coloured in there.
If you are that listener who is in Afghanistan, get in touch with us somehow.
Yeah, I don't know who's in Afghanistan.
Oh, look at that. Someone give me a call.
Oh, actually, that's true. It's his birthday today.
It is not.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Although by the time this is out, it won't be your birthday anymore.
Yeah, it'll be like 2 weeks away from it.
Yeah, the 9th of April, his birthday.
Look at him.
He must be 37?
He would be 37, yeah.
37.
Yeah.
Waffle hour?
Yeah,
Waffle game?
Waffle game.
It's that time.
Yeah, you know the name by now.
It's that time, you know the name. It's the reason we all came. Find the words that are the same. It's that time to play the waffle game.
Okay, Scotty, you are on the hot seat.
It's my turn.
Even though we're all sitting in the same seats. John, can you do the time? The 30 seconds? Excellent.
I'm going to predict that I get one.
That's the most important.
Straight off the bat.
Is one what you're going to?
I think I'm going to get one.
I think you could get two.
Possibly two. Clear your brain. Go Zen.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
After I read out the topic.
I'm going to do this. Bosses.
Okay. So, Scotty, you have 30 seconds to name cities/towns in Scotland. Go.
Oh, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Fife, Partick Thistle. I'm just naming football teams. Dunfermline, Kilmarnock, Queen of the South. Scotland Town.
Scotland Town. You done better. You actually got the curveball that I threw in. That I didn't think.
Was it Fife?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
randomly. I don't know. Is that a football team?
I don't know. It's a place anyway.
It just came into my head.
I think Patrick Thistle isn't a place though. I don't know.
Partick. I think it's Partick. Is Partick a place?
Oh, but it's a soccer team anyway.
Yeah. I only know.
So
football
you
teams
got
in Scotland.
Edinburgh.
Yes.
You got Dunfermline.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and you got Fife.
Nice.
And
That
the
was
only
okay.
other one you did, and I think it has 2 soccer teams, is Dundee
Oh,
and Inverness.
Inverness. Yeah. Inverness, Caledonian. I was trying to think of all the football teams that Timmy Clancy played for. I was going through the list.
He was at Hearts as well, isn't
He Hearts was he?
Kilmarnock isn't a Hearts and Hibernian. They're the Edinburgh teams.
Yeah.
Oh, and you said Edinburgh, but Edinburgh isn't. Oh no, it's Edinburgh FC, is there?
I don't know.
Because Hearts and Hibernian is like Everton and Liverpool. Like when you stand up on the Edinburgh chair yoke, you can see like the 2 stadiums either side.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
So I don't know whether Edinburgh is actually. Is there an Edinburgh FC?
I'm not sure.
Oh, but that wasn't the waffle thing. It was just towns. It wasn't football teams.
Yeah. So, that was okay. 3 was great.
Edinburgh, Fife, and Dunfermline. Well done.
I've heard Scotland is gas crack to go like on a stag and stuff.
Oh, I thought you
Edinburgh.
meant for holidays. Yeah, no, it's nice in holidays
Well,
too.
holidays too. Yeah.
Went on lads' holiday once to Scotland. It was good crack, yeah.
We went to Edinburgh and then got the train to Inverness. The train network in Scotland is great though, to be fair.
Right.
It was a 3-hour train journey and the scenery, and you go across this lake and everything was class. And then we got the car in Inverness and went to like Fort William, the Harry Potter bridge thing, aqueduct, viaduct, whatever it's called, in Fort William, and then Loch Ness we went to, and then we drove all the way up to John O'Groats as well.
Did you see the Loch Ness Monster was spotted again apparently?
What was it?
Yeah, on the CCTV. It was in my news for last week, but didn't happen in the end.
The news or the sighting?
It was in my news, but I didn't say it. But the sighting happened, I think, a few weeks ago. But it's like CCTV, and it shows like a big yoke coming up and going back down again.
Oh well, it was there. It has a full like tourist centre and everything.
Yeah, they make a good bit of money out of that now. Did you know that the Ethiopian calendar is 7 years behind the rest of the world?
No way.
Yeah. So at the moment, what's 7 years minus 2022?
2015.
So like Ethiopia, the country Ethiopia.
The country is in 2015. Yeah. So in Ethiopia, things are done a little bit differently when it comes to calculating the year that we're in. While most countries around the world follow the Gregorian calendar, the African nation uses its own. And although both systems use the birth date of our Lord Jesus as the starting point, Jesus.
What iPhone would they be on?
That's a good point. What are they, 7 years behind? They'd be on the 3 maybe or 4.
Oh.
They're behind technology as well.
Well, you said 7 years behind.
Mad.
7 years behind, yeah, in their calendar.
Can you go back and like put some bets on? Like if
They've never seen TikTok.
Oh, right.
TikTok wasn't around in 2015.
Wasn't that?
No, TikTok's new.
TikTok's like 2 years old.
Yeah, like at the start of the first lockdown and all, TikTok
How
came.
do they do business internationally in Ethiopia?
I don't know. Unless one guy is telling them like,
I'd imagine it's just
Liverpool
their
wins the
class.
Premier League, make sure you bet on them.
Yeah. Wait till you see the FA Cup final. It is a killer.
That's mad. That is a shell.
That's crazy, isn't it? So they believe that that Jesus was born in 7 BC. So do you know what BC is? Isn't that
Before Christ.
So they believe that Jesus Christ was born 7 years before
and
he was
AD
born.
is Anno Dominus.
Anno, yeah.
Is it something
Anno
like that?
Domini, maybe?
Domine, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Anno Domini. So there you go.
No way.
7
That
years
is a
behind.
proper club
I presume
Yeah.
that they're 7 years behind on their calendar, but not actually in real life, just to clarify.
Nope,
that.
it's the past.
I suppose my shell bomb was related to time, so I can suppose
Okay.
I could say shell
Yeah,
bomb.
let's do it.
Okay,
And it's a question. So,
Okay.
how many time zones does France have?
Ooh.
3.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3 as well.
No, both wrong.
Oh.
Is it 1?
No.
Oh.
It's 12 time zones.
What?
How is
Yes.
France 12 time zones?
Because if you include all their colonies,
Oh, clever.
yeah, they have a lot of colonies around the place.
Ireland has 2 time zones.
Well, if that's the case, how many
Did you know
time
that?
zones does England have?
No, well, Ireland has 2. And like the
How?
other
Why
time
does
zone
Ireland have 2?
literally comes down on the west coast, and it's such a small percentage of like Mayo and Galway
What?
that we just don't count it.
Really?
Yeah, look at the way the lines go.
So they're -1 hour, is it?
Yeah,
Minus 1.
they're into the first minus hour.
I think we
going-
should reintroduce
going
it.
west.
Do you know what you could do?
It's like mullet, I assume.
reintroduce that and have a pub either side of the line.
Yeah.
And then it comes 2:30 closing time, you just nip across.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like, is it Midway Island where all the time zones meet?
Is that the South Pacific, somewhere down
Something
there?
like that. So like it's 24 hours in difference from, I don't know, east to west of the island.
Let's have two birthdays.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. To everything.
Yeah. That was a good shell bomb.